Say Trump, I hear you like I'm young. So did, what? Cat got your tongue?
Hello everyone. Today has been a spectacularly bad day, if your name is Donald Jism Trump. For the rest of humanity, it's been an absolute blinder. Now, I know this is all over the internet, but just in case you happen to have your head in the sand or you wake up at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, like me, there's something you should know. In a brutal double whammy, Adelita Grijalva has been sworn in, the final Democrat needed to finally enable the vote on releasing the Epstein files, and some damning new emails from Epstein and his associates have been leaked by the House Democrats, which seem to directly implicate Trump. I am shocked! Shocked, I say! Now, this probably goes without saying, but in professional newscaster terms, I think it's fair to say that President Trump's diaper is especially full of poopy today. Even better, and the reason I decided to hop on camera today, to really rub this in for everyone's favourite incontinent granddad, the Lincoln Project uses opportunity to reshare a video which trolls Trump so masterfully. We're going to check it out. Don't forget, before we dive into this, like the video, subscribe, and click the notification bell. If you join this channel, you're helping spread the word and joining the movement which is helping push back against the Trump presidency. It's not the greatest form of activism, but it is something, and everything helps, right? I'm going to break down that video in just a second, but first, let me just quickly explain just how much of a no-good, very bad, dependent day Mr. Trump is having. Let's look at these emails because they are unbelievable. So from a Mr. Jeffrey Epstein to Michael Wolff, victim's name Mar-a-Lago redacted, Trump said he asked me to resign, never a member ever. Of course he knew about the girls as he asked Elaine to stop. Now, if you're a sane human being, your eyebrows are probably whoop up here. If you're a MAGA voter, you're probably saying, well, what does this prove? The girls, they could be talking about Girl Scout cookies. The second message released contains a forward of an email sent from Jeffrey Epstein to an associate, and it goes as follows. I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there presumably being the fiery gates of hell. And the third email is particularly delicious. It's from Michael Wolff to Jeffrey E. Epstein, and it says, speaking about Trump, I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the House, then that gives you valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you, or, if it really looks like he could win, God, the world used to be so innocent, you could save him, generating a debt. Of course, it is possible that when asked, he'll say Jeffrey is a great guy and has gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in the Trump regime again. Oh my God, life used to be so innocent. Now, just in case you're watching this and you want to try and pretend those emails aren't as incriminating as being caught with your dick inside a hot dog bun, check this out. Now, Michael Wolff is the guy that sent a lot of these emails, and he told ABC News on Wednesday he was in an in-depth conversation with Epstein at the time about his relationship with Donald Trump. I was trying at that time to get Epstein to talk about his relationship with Trump, and actually he proved to be an enormously valuable source to me. Part of the context is that I was pushing Epstein at that point to go public with what he knew about Trump. Now, Wolff is admired in a legal battle with First Lady Melania Trump, who Wolff said threatened to sue him to prevent his reporting on her alleged ties to Epstein. What a lovely family the Trump people are. Now, of course, these are probably just free, perfectly innocent emails. I mean, I'm sure if you dig into any of our past, you'll find, emails about us from three of the most prolific pedophiles in the world saying he knew about the girls, he hasn't squealed yet, he spent time with the girls at the house. Who hasn't got that somewhere in an old Yahoo email? Now, as we all know, Trump's government is filled with some of the most professional, sensible, adult people to have ever existed in politics ever. So let's see how Caroline Levitt responded to these emails.
Separate from why you believe the emails were made public, can you address their substance? Did the president ever spend hours at Jeffrey Epstein's house with a victim?
In fact, as Bart says,
you can actually pinpoint the second when his heart rips in half.
Was at Jeffrey Epstein's house.
I mean, if it was anyone else, I'd be like, oh, that person's having a terrible day, I feel sorry for you, but you fucking signed up for this. You made your bed in shit, now roll around in it.
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong.
See, this is the Trump White House in a nutshell. These images of my client stabbing the man in the chest prove absolutely nothing other than that he did nothing wrong. Reject the evidence of your eyes and ears, people.
And what President Trump has always said is that he was from Palm Beach, and so was Jeffrey Epstein.
This sounds like some sort of cheesy 2000s early pop song. He's always said that he was from Palm Beach, and so was Jeffrey Epstein. He was a skater boy. He said, see you later, boy. Like, what are we doing here? I mean, again, to be fair, like I said, any of us, if we happen to have lived in the same town as, a notorious paedophile, will turn up in their emails being specifically talked about and saying how they basically knew what was going on and didn't say anything about it yet.
Till President Trump kicked him out because Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile and he was a creep. And this email...
I love how unnatural it is for these people to talk, badly about immoral things. Like, you can... like, who else in the world feels the need to say, this man was a pedophile and a creep? The two go together. It's just peanut butter and jelly in like a disgusting sandwich version. It's almost like tacitly admitting something. It's like, now he was a pedophile, but not the good kind, not the sort of, God-fearing Catholic priest kind. No, he was a creepy one.
And this email you refer to with the name of a victim that was unredacted now and has since been reported on in this room, so I will go ahead and say it, Virginia Giuffre. And it was CBS's own reporting, Ouija, that recently wrote that Miss Giuffre maintained, and God rest her soul, that she maintained that there was nothing inappropriate she ever witnessed, that President Trump was always extremely professional and friendly to her. And so I think it's a question worth asking the Democrat Party, and you should all go ask them after this briefing, of why they chose to redact that name of a victim who has already publicly made statements about her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and is unfortunate.
Yeah, it might be worth asking the Democrats that, or maybe it's worth asking the Republicans why they chose to elect a man who was best fucking friends with the biggest pedo on earth. Also, I'm sure this ridiculous whataboutism works on some of the more simian-minded people out there, but the reality is that it's not up for dispute that Jeffrey Epstein was an enormous pedophile. It's not up for dispute that Virginia Giuffre was one of his victims, one of his many victims. And what's also not up for dispute is that, oftentimes when it comes to rich and powerful people, victims can be paid or threatened to be quiet. I'm not saying, definite proof that Trump did something, but the fact of the matter is, the email doesn't say, Trump did something to Jeffrey, and then Jeffrey's out there before she passed away saying, no, he didn't. The email says, she spent hours at my house with him. So, the concern could very well be well, he's going to know all about this because he spent hours with this 15-year-old or whatever, and she probably, even if Trump's not doing anything, she's going to be telling him, by the way, my relation to Jeffrey Epstein is that he's a fucking pedophile. The point of the matter is, the idea that Trump didn't know that Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile is laughable, and these emails prove it. At the very least, Trump was best friends with, okay with, enabled, and, potentially contributed to this man's pedophile empire. And I can't believe I'm saying these words. Again, this world is fucking broken. Anyway, it's not worth getting worked up about the words of this professional liar, because let's face it, that's all she is. That's all most of the Trump administration is they're people who were hired because they're professional liars. Some of us out there might be like, I'm pretty good at lying, I can spin a porker when I want to. These people are fucking pro. These people are in the big leagues. You will never touch the depth of lying they can do. President Trump could empty out his Depends onto Caroline Levitt's face, and the reporter could be like, Miss Levitt, what do you have to say to the reports that you currently have a poopy on your upper lip? And she would say, I do not have a poopy on my upper lip. In fact, this poopy on my upper lip is proof that there is no poopy on my upper lip. Think about it. Anyway, the point is, these people are going to lie no matter what. If they're awake, they're lying. If the world is running, they're lying. If your watch is moving, they're lying. But make no mistake, this is a terrible day for Republicans, and that's a great day for everyone else. Now let's check out this video, which really rubs it in.
Psst, I see mad people.
Ketchup on the wall,
Ketchup on the wall. At first I was like, what does that mean? And I realized it's Trump. Of course, he eats garbage. The idea, let's face it, right now the White House is full of gilded tacky shit and ketchup stains.
Bonnie says they're on the desk, where did they go? Pam down in the shredder room, that's what we know. Your story has more holes than your course in Mar-a-Lago. What's up with these lame excuses blaming Obama? Your whole party hates you, your hat, and your mama.
There is no greater, just metaphor image for Trump's presidency. Well, the hat on fire, sure, but just the hat in general, because even since the beginning, when I first saw that hat, I was like, that is a poorly designed hat. That is the most cheaply, lazy, just rubbish tat hat possible to make. And again, it sums up the Trump presidency perfectly. Something completely naff, gaudy, and in no taste, made in China.
Your whole party hates you, your hat, and your mama. How many names you got? What? Cat got your tongue? You forget your BFF, Jeff, who likes some young. Cover your ass and hide the files that you took. Come on, Donnie boy, let's take a look.
I thought this was AI at first, but I'm pretty sure this is real puppets, which is good work.
That you took. Come on, Donnie boy, let's take a look. Can we take a peek in that little black book? Can't cover up a cover up. It really makes you think redact all you want, boy. You running out of ink. Say Trump, I hear you like I'm young. So did what? Cat got your tongue? You thought
Dude, this puppet is actually horrifying. I don't even think it's AI. I think somebody made this. I feel so. Whoever had to make this puppet, I hope is in therapy right now. Look at that. It's like so accurate and so
Now
horrifying.
that old Jeff's dead, better pray a prison cell, hesitant in bed. You know the best ones, the best people, everything the best. So spill the tea on your besties from the lowly to express. Not the only politics with freak off miles. Certified cover up, certified Epstein files. Wop, 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 wop.
Okay,
Trump
all
really
right.
sucks. Wop,
All right.
wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. You know Epstein was the plan's designer. Bet your Trump's in the files in bed with A minor.
Nice. You have to keep that rhyme in. It's just too classic. Honestly, when it first started out, I was like, it's a bit cheesy, a bit fun, but you know, it's actually lyrically, it gets pretty good towards the end. Like, it's pretty good.
Trump not like us. Trump not like us. Trump not like us.
Truer words have never been said. This is something I think about a lot, and even before Trump was elected, no, well, maybe a bit less before he was elected, but just like there are people out there like Trump. What's the word for him? Terrible fucking people. And if everyone in society was like them, they would hate it, and there would be no society, because society only functions, is predicated on the idea that people come together and they're like, yeah, you know what? Even I'm a bit grumpy or whatever, and you're a bit smelly or whatever, you know, the reality is I can tell, you know, I can tell that we actually work better together, that when we pool our resources and, you know, and build stuff together and share stuff and, you know, share knowledge and language and stuff, like, it is objectively better. And these people know that. These people know it's better, because notice how all these terrible, evil people don't go and live on an island by themselves somewhere. No, they always want to be in the middle of it all. They always want to be in a big city. They always want to be surrounded by money and people and power. The only thing they hate about society is the fact that they have to contribute to it. Because they are selfish and messed up in their head, they believe that they should be entitled to everything society has to offer without giving anything back. People like Trump really are not like us. Because if everyone in the world was like Trump, the world would not exist. It would be on fire.
Trump not like us. 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 Trump not like us.
God damn it, it was made by AI. Oh, that is so, honestly, that's upset me. You know, not that it was made by AI, because stuff's made by AI now, whatever. AI has its uses, and I guess in a way it's a bit like the Trump presidency itself, as in it's morally terrible, but we're stuck with it for now. But anyway, that was a video by the Lincoln Project, and they're one of the few, you know, conservative groups with morals. I'm pretty sure they're a conservative group. They're like old-fashioned conservatives, I'm pretty sure. Like, you know, they're like one of those conservatives that's like, okay, maybe we should have lower taxes, or maybe war isn't so bad. But the Constitution, I still think, is okay. They're what the Republican Party has completely turned their back on. So, you know, props to them for doing the right thing and making content like this. Because the thing about this sort of content is, as bizarre as it is that we live in a reality where I can be making content about this content and it's relevant, the point is it is relevant. It's not even hyperbole to say in a title like Trump is going to get trolled by this, because Trump watches stuff like this. Trump shares AI video himself of him flying a jet and shitting on it. Like, this is actually at Trump's intellectual level. This might even be, actually no, this is actually above his level a bit. The lyricism is a bit too fast, there's a bit too many, you know, two-syllable words in there. He probably wouldn't understand all of it, but the fact that it's Muppets and it's talking about him and he can tell it's not good, he's almost certainly, he wouldn't admit it, but he's almost certainly seen this and been like, Now I think, even if you're not a big fan of Gavin Newsom as a politician, you've got to give him credit for actually being the first person to understand how to actually reach Trump and his voters on their level, which is a toddler. You can't win against an immature buffoon using facts or logic, because I don't care about those things. You have to actually get down, lean down and be like, hey little Johnny, here's President Trump as a Muppet, you fucking Muppet. It's the only way to reach these people, and the only way to reach Trump. Now, absolutely, it's a shame that the political discourse in this country has gotten to that point, but that's where it is. That's how it is now. And arguably, the Republicans and decades of school funding being slashed. British Chris, you just said Republicans twice, is mostly to blame, but it doesn't really matter what the reason is. We're here now. We're now, the elevator has stopped, ding, we're in the fiery depths of hell. And videos like this from the Lincoln Project are at least the devil you know. I'm British Chris, and I'm really American.